Hey, what's up, you guys? Bringing another action figure review to you. And when I made my comeback video, I was trying to decide which figure I was going to do first. At first, I was going to do Kraven. That was going to be my comeback video after my 2 month hiatus. But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Let me come back with a bang. So, as much as I like this Kraven figure, um, I chose to do him last compared to the Tobey Maguire figure. So I figured, Tobey Maguire, uh, No Way Home figure, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man figure. I still don't know why they call. I mean, yes, he is the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I just don't get why they call him Tobey Maguire. That I don't. Anyway, um, so yeah, check that video out. I did a review. It's kind of a long one. It's like 34 minutes. So if you guys don't mind that, about how I critiqued the figure and talked about what Tobey Maguire meant to me, because he really does mean a lot to me. I remember when I first saw the advertisement for the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, and I thought it looked whack. I was like, I'm not going to see this. He was some unknown guy. Like, nobody knew who he was. I didn't know who Tobey Maguire was. I was like, I'm not going to see this. It looks like trash. Boy, was I wrong. It's the biggest mistake I ever made. I never went to the theater to go see it. I saw it on VHS and on a bootleg tape at that. Um, that my mother brought for me. But anyway, enough about Spider-Man. I already covered him in that review. That was my comeback video. I figured that would have been more appropriate. So we're here to talk about Kraven. And overall, I didn't even take him out of the package yet, but I like this figure a lot for a lot of reasons. One big reason is nostalgia. Like Tobey Maguire is nostalgia for me because he's my favorite live action Spider-Man. This version of Kraven is from the Spider-Man the Animated Series, which is my favorite, definitely one of my top favorite iterations of Spider-Man. Spider-Man the Animated Series is such a great show. It's so timeless. I can go back and watch that show now. I can watch it 10 years from now and still love it the same. I love Spider-Man Animated Series. It's what got me addicted to Spider-Man. Spider-Man Animated Series is what made me a Spider-Man fan. Because before that, I wasn't really a Spider-Man fan. It was Spider-Man Animated Series that turned me into a Spider-Man fan. So this Kraven, I knew I had to get once I saw, the announcement for him. I knew I had to get him. It took me a while to get him though. I didn't get him right away. I wanted to, but there were other figures I was getting at the time, and time just kept going by, and he became harder and harder to get. But I finally caught one on Walmart because he is a Walmart exclusive. I caught one on Walmart, and he was $27 with tax and shipping, of course. And I am overall happy with this, but this figure does have problems. So let's get into it. So overall, you can see Kraven in the package, and you can see him with his spear. You can see the artwork from Spider-Man Animated Series. I love that. You got the Kraven. You got the little lights down there, the stage. You got Kraven, his boots, pants, his lion vest, whatever you want to call it. You got the buildings in the background. You got the streets below. Spider-Man Animated Series. You got nothing at the bottom. You have the back. Legalities. Blah, blah, blah. Hasbro. You got the side. Side of Kraven. You got the other side. You got Spider-Man, the Animated Series, up top. You also have a read-up for Kraven. With serum power strength and honed senses that drove him mad, Kraven the Hunter is neither Spider-Man's friend nor foe, but the web slinger might be his only shot at a cure. So that is Kraven. You got that on the side. You You got Spider-Man Animated Series, Marvel Comics up top. You got Kraven again right there. And like I said, Spider-Man Animated Series at the top once again. So let's crack Kraven out of the packaging. Let's dig into this figure. I'm ready to get into it, so let's do it. And we got Kraven out of the packaging, and from what I'm seeing, he looks pretty good. I am overall very satisfied with this Kraven. He does have problems. I will get into that, so let's take a closer look at Kraven. So his head sculpt is good. It's good. I'm not going to say it's bad. It's good. But the bad part about it is this constipated, gritting, angry face that he's making. Now, I get it. He's probably in battle with Spider-Man, as he should be. But they should have added another head sculpt. I always say when you do head sculpts like this, whether it's a smiling face or whether it's an angry face, a gritting face, grunting face, whatever. If you're going to do a head sculpt like this, it should be two heads included. One neutral, one like this. When toy companies do this, it drives me crazy because it limits the posability. I feel they should have did a head sculpt like they showed on the packaging, which I'll bring the packaging back up now. They should have did a head sculpt like this. I would have much preferred this than the head sculpt that we got. So when it comes to Kraven here, the reason he has this head sculpt is because it's reuse, and that's what's easy. That's what's easier and lazy for Hasbro, and that's what they did. And they knew people were still going to go out and buy it, so they didn't care. But if people, I know people are YouTube reviewers, I get it. Me, I don't do YouTube for a living, so that's why y'all only see me collect figures that I really want to get. I don't just collect like every darn figure that comes out, because first of all, I will go broke. And second of all, I'm not interested in every figure. So when I collect something, I collect it very selectively. But Kraven is a character I needed in my Spider-Man collection. I desperately needed Kraven. I've never had a Kraven figure. He's the only character that's missing from my Sinister Six. I needed Kraven to complete my Spider-Man collection. I needed him. And I got him. And I'm very happy that I got him. But I'm not going to deny that there are problems. And the first problem is this head sculpt. Like I said, it's a good head sculpt. It's sculpted very good, very clean, very nicely. But when this is the face expression that he's making, and this is the only face that you're stuck with, that's when it's a problem. So, you know, I just feel that toy companies need to stop doing that. They need to include two heads. If you're going to do a head like this, like I said, include another neutral head. Or they could have did a head like I just showed on the packaging where he looks like Spider-Man, the animated series. They could have did that. But Hasbro didn't want to do that. They wanted to take the cheap, lazy way, and that's what they did. So they reused this head that was already used, and that's what they did. So I'm definitely going to knock points for that because it's just lazy. It's not originality. It's lazy. And a lot of this figure is reused parts. Now, it doesn't bother me because I don't have any of the other Kraven figures. I don't have any of them. So this is my first Kraven figure. So that's why it doesn't bother me. But if I did have the other Kraven figures, it would bother me tremendously that all this stuff is reused, all of it. But what I love about it is that it's pretty much accurate to the Spider-Man animated series TV show. It's pretty accurate. The yellow and the orange with the lion, these spiky things on his belt, the black pants, the zebra wrist straps, the what is it, a cheetah or a jaguar armband. Now the paint is flat. It's just yellow. It's just flat. I don't like that either. It's just flat paint. There's no brushing. There's no There's no wash on it. They could have added a wash. It would have made this pop more. They didn't do that. They just left it flat paint. I don't like that. But the armband looks good. The wristbands look good. This looks flat too. It just looks flat. It looks cheap. And that's really disappointing. I mean, this is my first Kraven figure, and already I'm noticing things I don't like. This is good. The zebra outlines on his boots is good. His boots is fine. I'm good with that. His pants is fine. A lot of people complain that he doesn't have that loincloth right there in his crotch area, because he should. Me personally, I prefer it this way. I don't want that loincloth piece. I feel it would just make him look too cartoony. He already looks cartoony enough, but I'm fine with that because he's from Spider-Man the animated series. But I'm just saying, if they would have added that little cloth there in his crotch, I wouldn't have liked that. That would have just threw it off for me. I wouldn't have liked that. So I'm actually glad they didn't do that. I know a lot of fans are pissed about that it's missing, but me personally, I'm not. I like just him just flat black pants, no long cloth, nothing in the middle. I'm satisfied with that. But it's just mostly reuse and flat paint, and that's disappointing. It's very disappointing. And for me to feel disappointed with this being my first Kraven figure, you're really saying something. But I'm still satisfied with it. I'm satisfied with it because I have a Kraven in my collection. This figure had much more potential than what Hasbro did. This figure had much more potential. It's a reuse head. It's flat paint. The paint in the eyes is nice. It's some, it's not as clean on his nose because you can see some imperfection there. And you got the flat yellow paint back here, and then you just got the flat orange paint with his vest there, and then you got the flat paint here in his belt, and you just got solid black here, and then you got the zebra stripes on the shins of his boots, and then you just got flat paint on his boots. And it's like, come on. It's like, come on, Hasbro. It's like, I know y'all can get away with stuff. I get that. Like, y'all could just slap something together and just sell it for however much y'all want to. Like, I know y'all can get away with that. I get it. But it is disappointing because this figure could have really been so much more. You could have put the extra effort in it. You could have excelled this figure more than you did. So the vest is a separate piece. You can see his muscles. I'm not going to take the vest off because I'm not, but I'm just going to show you. Muscles, nice. He still has pins in his arms and legs. He has pins, nothing pinless. So I'm going to get into his accessory, which is his spear. And I like the spear. I like his accessory. But this is another reuse. With all the Kraven figures have this same spear. All they're doing is just repainting it. Like they're not reshaping it. They're not altering it in any way. It's just the same exact spear, just with different coated paint. So it's just lazy. It's just ridiculously lazy. But I'm still happy with it because, like I said, once again, this is my first Kraven figure. So I'm happy he came with the spear. I'm happy that I have this figure, but am I overall satisfied with it? The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm paying attention to all the detail in it, or lack thereof, I should say. It's just making me more and more disappointed. So, Hasbro was just being Hasbro, That's just what they did. So let's get into articulation. Head can look up that much, pretty good. He can look down that much, pretty good. He does have attitude. He can go all the way around. And his arms can go out about, not that much. this arm doesn't want to go up at all. I don't want to force it because I don't want to break the damn figure. Anyway, this arm went up about this much. I don't know what's going on with this arm, but this arm went up about this much. You get full rotation. Even the vest has some hindrance, but you get full 360 rotation. You do have upper bicep swivel. I don't know if you get any butterfly joints. I can't see it, so it could be there or it might not be. I don't know. But yeah, upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, full wrist and hinge rotation. He has a, is that a upper ball peg joint? I can't, it look, no, it's not. It's not. I had to look at it carefully. So it is an ab crunch, but he can't really crunch back, and I don't want to try to force it too much. I don't want to break the darn figure. So he can't really go back at all. Not on mine anyway. Barely, like an inch. He can go forward, I guess, about that much. He can pivot a little bit. He does have full 360 rotation. Yeah, and that's about it for the waist. He can split out about that much, not really that much at all. He can kick forward that much. He can kick back about that much. He has a thigh cut. He has double jointed knees. He does have boot yeah, he has boot rotation. And his foot can hinge up, his foot can hinge down, and he does have ankle pivot. So I mean, the articulation on Kraven is decent, you know. It's fine. You know, it's fine. That's this figure is just fine. From what I'm seeing so far, how I'm reviewing him, he's just fine. So this is what I always wanted, the Sinister Six. The Sinister Six has obviously changed over the years. There's been different members. I can't find my Sandman. I put my Sandman up in store somewhere and I can't find him. I have Rhino, but he's just too big to fit into this picture. So this is the version of, I mean, the team is interchangeable, but the original team of Sinister Six, if I remember correctly, is Doc Ock, Mysterio, Vulture, Kraven, Sandman, and I'm forgetting the last member. I'm trying to think of the original team. I don't think it was Rhino. It could have been Scorpion. It could have been Scorpion. But if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. I'm not going to sit here and rack my brain. But yeah, Scorpion, Mysterio, Doc Ock, Kraven, Elektra, and Vulture. So I just think this is really cool, having the Sinister Six. Like I said, Kraven was my missing member. So now I have him. He's part of the team. I have completed my Sinister Six. I'm very happy about that. And yeah. And so I thought I'd pair the Lizard up with Kraven in the Spider-Man 2 video game from Insomniac. This is not really a spoiler because it was in the trailers. But if you haven't seen the trailers and you want to stay away from all spoilers at all costs, then you can leave the video right now. But you'll miss my rating because I haven't figured out what I'm going to rate this figure yet. And you'll miss my final thoughts. But if you don't want to hear anything, then I understand. You can leave the video. And until the next time, I will see you. Now, for those of you who are still here, Kraven went after Dr. Connors, which is the Lizard, of course. The Lizard was part of his hunt in the video game, and he went after Dr. Connors, and he returned him into the Lizard. So, you know, that's really cool. So, I think he looks very cool standing next to Kraven, and yeah. Yeah, so kind of doing another long video. I apologize for that, but I had a lot of thoughts on Kraven, like I had a lot of thoughts on Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Please check that video out if you don't mind watching over 30 minutes. But yeah, I really poured all my thoughts into that video, and I'm pouring a lot of thoughts into this one as well, because I am a Kraven fan. Kraven is one of my, I love all of Spider-Man's villains. Him and Batman has the best villains in all of comic books. Everybody knows that. There's just no comparison. There's no competition. It's not up for debate. Batman and Spider-Man have the best rogues gallery in all of comic books, period. That is not up for debate. But anyway, I like this Kraven figure a lot. I love that this is the version of the animated series. I do like the colors, even though the paint is flat, everything is reused, and that's just, unacceptable. So I'm gonna give this figure a harsh rating. I don't think it's too harsh, but I have to judge it for what it is. Even though I don't have any of the other Kraven figures, this is the only one I have. But I'm still going to judge it on its own and for what Hasbro did. And what they did was very lazy. It just was. There's no other way around it. Reuse head, reuse spear, reuse of his clothing, except for a couple of pieces. Flat paint, just so, same spear, just so I wanted to give this a 7 because in spite of all of its faults, I still like the figure and I'm still happy I got it in my collection. But I just can't bring myself to do it because they didn't really add anything to this figure to make it pop the way it should have. This should have really been a special figure, especially when you're basing it off Spider-Man animated series, which means a lot to people in their childhood because it meant a lot to me and it still does. So based on all of that, I'm going to give this figure a 6.5 out of 10. And I feel even that is being generous. I probably should give it a 6, but I'm being a little generous because in spite of all of his faults, I still like the figure. They could have included a different alternate head. They still could have gave us this head. I don't have a problem with that, but they should have made a new head for this version of Kraven, him being from the animated series. Stop being lazy. They should have made a new head for him and include this one so you get 2 heads. They could have kept the same spear. I'm fine with that, but they could have gave him another weapon. They could have added more wash to the paint to make it pop more. So, and they didn't have to reuse everything. They didn't have to be so lazy and flat with everything. So with that being said, yes, I'm giving this figure a 6.5 out of 10. I still like it overall because I'm just happy to have a freaking Kraven in my collection. If they come out with a new and better Kraven later, I might sell this one or give it away. I'll let you guys know and get that one because they probably will make a better Kraven in the future and I'll probably want that one. But I probably might stick with this one just because nostalgia really hits home with me, and this, even though this isn't a perfect Kraven figure, it still resonates with me because I love Spider-Man the animated series so much. So I still might wind up keeping him. I don't know. I'm very mixed on this figure. But yeah, he gets a 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, so that's my final thoughts and review on this figure. I hope you guys enjoyed. I still have more reviews coming up. I still have more figures coming. I have a couple more. And maybe one bonus one that I might do. I'm thinking about it. But I definitely have a couple more figures coming up that I'm going to review. Probably either Monday or Tuesday. Probably Monday. Yeah, so this has been my review, guys, of the Marvel Legends Retro Series Kraven, and hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, this is my last hunt, Kraven's Hunt. Till next time, see ya.